This is Donovan from the Batman universe. I'm here with co-director Sam Liu. Sam, do you find it any difficult to direct this film that is an adaptation of Batman Year One, or is it easier to, whenever you're adapting an original story, do you find that easier, or do you find it easier to direct something that's already been established like this?
Let's see. I don't know if like easier is the sort of dilemma, you know, because in one sense, with something that's established, it's sort of locked in. You know what I mean? It's like fans already know the story and they know what to expect. And if you don't deliver, then you get yelled at, or like people don't like it. You know, so there's the pressure of that. But it makes it arguably easier to build because it's already sort of blueprinted out for you. You know, when you're working on original things, I think it's more creative, and so it's a little bit more liberating in a strange way, because the blueprint isn't there for you, so you create the blueprint, you know. So I don't know if that answered your question, but okay.
Now this is obviously Batman Year One. He's just starting out. He's new to everything, and as it happens, this is more of a street level story. Do you find that any easier rather than the more established superheroic slam bang pow stories? What do you think?
I think because it's so like low tech, and people aren't doing like 40-foot jumps and flips, and like you have bazookas and gadgets all over the place. I think you have to tell more of the human story, because you don't have this sort of like the bells and whistles of a few huge explosions and them like surviving, you know what I mean, like these crazy gadgets and things that will help solve things. You have to solve things in real ways, or it's still fantastic, but it's got to be believable, you know. And I think because you don't have the flash of all these like cool fights and cool type of things, or they become like grittier fights, and they become they have to use more real world things. So I don't know. I think it's just different, you know. It's almost like a different texture. It's a different, and I think like especially with Year One, because it's so established, and people had seen bits and pieces of it in different movies. I think style becomes very, very important. You know, we've really definitely tried to sort of create a feel to the movie. You know, it's really like a 70s sort of mafia, police type of story. And I think that's going to be really important in sort of selling this world. You know, because again, like the whole gimmicks of an explosion, or even like oh, what happens to Batman, or what's gonna, everybody knows it already. You know, so I think it was really important to sort of be immersive, in the mood of, the city and the dilemmas that they're working through.
Now, Batman Begins borrowed a few elements from this story. So when adapting Batman Year One, did you find there was any temptation to sort of appeal more to people who had seen that movie, or did you believe in the source material and just wanted to stick with it more strictly?
That was definitely a worry, because I remember when I was first rereading the comic book, that was just like, oh, they did this in Batman Begins, or oh, they kind of covered some of this in Nolan's like Dark Knight, Again, we were kind of concerned about it, but it was what can you do? You got to stick to the source material, But again, I kind of felt like if we immerse the people in, the drama of it, it'll just be a good story.